Welcome back to another Motel Coach training video. Today we're diving into GuestPoint PMS and we're going to be creating some reservations for practice. We're going to show you what notes to put in and how they'll show up in reports for the housekeeping team. Let's now jump into our first reservation call.
Hello, this is Emily Jang calling. I'd love to book one of your upstairs balcony rooms again. I stayed last year and had a great view from the top floor. I'm planning to come next weekend, checking in on Saturday for one night. Could you please confirm availability and hold that same type of room for me? My number is 04-605-22319 and my email is emily.jang@example.com. Thanks so much. Talk soon.
Let's recap the first reservation call. So her guest name, Sarah Bennett. She's looking to book for Friday and Saturday night, and it's just for one person. She has made one special request. She doesn't want air fresheners or strong scents to be used in the room because she's got asthma, and that would set her asthma off. So when we get a request like this, we've got a few things to think about. We need to communicate it with the housekeeping team. We need to also make sure that we're not putting her into a pet-friendly room or a room with feather pillows, feather mattress topper, or feather doona. Anything like that might set off asthma, we want to try and avoid where possible. We've got her mobile number and we've got her email address. So we would then follow up her with a quick phone call and we'd get a payment method. We'd get a credit card. So let's put the booking in now. So we've got room 4. That room's not pet friendly. We're going to put it in for one adult and we're going to select the check-in date for Friday and we're going to make it for 2 nights. So we'll be checking out on the Sunday. Queen Suite, and we've got so we've already got this guest previously in-house. So by clicking this, we'll attach her profile information. If we were to not click that one and save it down, we're creating another reservation profile for Sarah Bennett. So she would then have 2 profiles, and if she stays multiple times, those stays would start to get split over the 2 reservations and we wouldn't exactly know how much revenue she's bringing in for the motel. So whenever you take a booking, you always want to track down and see if that guest has stayed before, and you want to attach their guest profile. So as we're moving down the screen, we're confirming the room type and the features that she wants if she does have any special requests outside of the asthma. We then would confirm the room rates. Often you'll find that a guest has already done their research, and if they can see a cheaper rate online, sometimes you'll need to price match or you'll need to review your rates online to make sure that you can match that one. Going to scroll down, we've got her email in. We're going to collect her city and postal address now, just so that when she comes to check in, we don't need to follow up with that again. For the internal booking notes, I'm going to put asthma sufferer for internal booking notes. I'm going to put the same for guest profile notes. So that means that every time she stays, the guest profile notes will continue on. Under housekeeping notes, I'm going to put deep clean room due to asthma. No So with this housekeeping note, I'm putting it in and it will get printed when I print my housekeeping room list, but it's not enough to rely on that. I need to highlight it on my housekeeping room list for the housekeeper that's got that room, and I also need to hand over with it and communicate with them during the day to make sure it's done. Whenever you've got a health-related special request, you need to take it very seriously. You don't get any second chances when it comes to health-related special requests. So we're going to scroll down a bit further, and we're going to put in booking source, and we're going to put in telephone. By doing this, we can work out for our marketing where our bookings are coming from. Booking confirmation, we're going to put payment on arrival. We would contact the guest to put in a credit card as a guarantee. Some properties would take a prepayment. Depends on your property's specific requirements. Moving down the page, we've got charge policy. So this is just a leisure booking, so all charges will go straight to the guest. An important button to select is email confirmation. So when we save this reservation, we want to ensure that Miss Bennett gets a booking confirmation. A booking confirmation is a second chance to make sure that all of the details are correct. So we can save that down now. So once we've selected that email confirmation button, when we save the reservation, this email window will come up. In your proper GuestPoint setup, it will have a template already built in. Because this is a demo, we don't have a template set up for it. So if we then click Start Sending, it will send an email to sarah.bennett@example.com. So you can see her reservations there. And the last thing I just wanted to point out as well with this email confirmation section when you create the reservation is that if you don't have an email yet in the reservation, that tick box won't be selected, and obviously you wouldn't be able to send the guest an email confirmation anyway. So we've now created that reservation and we've put some notes in for the housekeeping department. So on the morning of Friday the 7th of November, we would need to follow up with the housekeepers and make sure that they follow the requests that we've put in. And then for a special request around a health-related item, as the motel manager or hotel manager, I would get myself or one of the senior managers on site to inspect that room and make sure it was all perfect. We've now got the next reservation inquiry coming through, and I'll let that one ring out and you can listen through to that one and make notes as you go as well.
Hi, this is Mark Douglas. I'm just calling to make a booking for this Friday night for 2 adults and 1 child. If possible, could we please have a rollaway bed added for our little one? You can reach me on 0409673120, and my email's mark.douglas88@example.com. Thanks so much. Please confirm when you can.
So let's now go through Mr. Douglas's booking. So he's looking to book in for Friday night for 2 adults and 1 child. If possible, could we please have a rollaway bed added for our little one? You can reach me on, he's provided his mobile and email. Thanks so much. Please confirm when you can. So again, we're going to need to call Mr. Douglas back and we're going to need to collect a credit card. And if we go through the reservation, so he is looking for a rollaway bed. When a guest is requesting a rollaway bed, I would always look at it as an opportunity. If you've got a slightly bigger room which already has a bed in it and you don't have high occupancy, I would look to upgrade Mr. Douglas and let him know. Hi Mr. Douglas, so your little one has a great night's rest. We've upgraded you into a slightly bigger room. The benefit with this is the linen cost for a rollaway bed and the extra time for a housekeeper to put a rollaway bed in a room is equivalent to upgrading them anyway. There's no real cost difference for you. So we're looking at the Friday, and we're going to upgrade him into a queen twin room. As discussed earlier, we're going to put him in a bigger room just to avoid having to put the rollaway bed in. So we're going to right click on the queen twin room, number 17. And we're going to start from the top. We're going to put 2 adults and 1 child. If we were going to put a rollaway bed in the room, we would always make sure we put do not move. On the day, once the housekeepers have put in the rollaway bed, we want to make sure that no staff shuffle guests around and we end up with another guest in the room with the rollaway bed. So we can now put in Mark. You only need to put in a few of the letters and their profile will come up if they have one. When we contact Mr. Douglas, we can request the additional information that our property needs, and we'd also be able to confirm the time of arrival for the guest. So we can put small child in the internal booking notes. And if we're not making up the extra bed, we don't need to actually put in anything into housekeeping notes. If you're charging an additional charge for the rollaway bed, but you've put them into a room which doesn't need the rollaway bed, I would put a note in your internal booking notes because it might come back if the guest is charged for that rollaway bed, but you've got them in a room where you didn't end up putting the rollaway bed. It is likely that the guest might query that charge. If you've got the internal booking notes, yourself or one of the other staff members that wasn't involved will understand why that charge is there. Something like that will just make it clear what the reason was. You could even put in more details around it, but the main point is to be very clear with the guest about the charges that are going to be incurred for that extra child. So what you can do with a request such as an extra child is you could put a note in booking or confirmation notes. So we could put something along those lines. Or in this instance, we might word it a little bit different because we're upgrading the guest. We're also going to put in an internal booking note just around the payment method. So Mr. Douglas is going to pay for the room on arrival. So we're going to put pay on arrival. Some properties use POA for payment on arrival, but I've also seen in some properties that would indicate pay own account or pay on account. So I like to just be very clear with my wording. I don't think it really takes much longer to just write pay on arrival, and it's just very clear. Sometimes you'll get an instance where a guest says, "This is my guarantee credit card." So then you would then want to put in a note saying guest will provide a different card on arrival. We're going to scroll down further. We're going to put in booking source as telephone. And we're going to email the confirmation. We're then going to save it down, and an email option will then come up. So as discussed in the previous reservation, you'll have a pre-formatted template here and you can just click start sending. Thank you very much for watching. If you found this lesson helpful, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. If you're looking to get into motel management or level up your skills, check out the links in the description for courses and training in motel management and GuestPoint property management system.